Welcome to the 2022 Winter Classic Student Cluster Competition Studio Update Show. Now, here are your hosts, Dan Olds and Addison Snell.
Dan Olds here, and it is time for another episode of the 2022 Intersect 360 Winter Classic Invitational Student Cluster Competition Studio Update Show. Addison Snell out on assignment. But we are here talking to Cal State Fullerton for their second interview. How you guys doing tonight?
We're doing well. It's a pretty good night out in Southern California. The sun's still out, but it's pretty hot.
It's a really nice day today. Yeah.
Nice.
Feeling good.
Nice. Good. Well, let's take a little look back. What have you guys been learning out of this competition?
For me personally, learning that I don't really know a lot.
Funny how those things work, huh?
Yeah, it's definitely a lot different. Like, this entire competition has been very different from anything I've ever done before. Like, at least like compared to my classes, compared to my internship, like working with like the the PBS scheduler, the other scheduler we used before, Smart. Like, I just never had to use it like that. Like, I never coded in that in that way before.
Yeah.
Usually, you add features, add feature updates to all that stuff. But this is it's not really feature based. It's really weird.
Yeah, it's
interesting. But
yeah, I mean, it's different from other kinds of apps and stuff.
Yeah, I'm definitely more used to creating and modifying, adding, but making things go faster in this sort of way is very, very different. And I definitely don't have any coursework that can help me out on this, which is interesting. It's a little harder, but yeah, we don't have the resources to, at least at our school, that show us how to kind of do this kind of stuff.
Yeah, I don't know that anybody in this competition really has that. Some of the big competitions, Purdue or somebody like that, yeah, they've got a supercomputer and a supercomputing center and the coaches to help them through it. Mm-hmm. But you guys don't have that, so that makes it tough. And so, how about you, Dalton? What have you learned?
I think for me, what I've learned, I kind of had an idea of what we would be doing for the competition. Mm-hmm. But when we actually started doing it, it was troublesome, I think, trying to figure out what parameters to optimize first and what permutations of parameters to try. I think we spent a lot of time maybe on parameters we shouldn't have spent so much time on.
It's hard to tell though beforehand.
I think just getting the parameters right and enumerating everything that you're able to tweak is something we should have done a better job at. I think it's kind of an art to kind of knowing what you need to try first, based on your past. It'll be based on your past experiences.
Exactly.
Probably also know when to stop.
Yeah.
When to move on and try to not wait for time. Yeah.
And get started earlier.
Yeah.
And get started earlier, which is something I've noticed with you guys and some of the other teams. It's not unusual. It's normal, in fact. But I still have to yell at you about it. You understand, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So does this have you guys thinking that this might be the kind of thing you might want to do down the road? Or is it completely scared you away from it?
I think it's pretty interesting. I think, even if it's not my job, I think I want to build my own cluster and kind of just know how things work. I mean, in this competition, we tweak a lot of parameters, we get the program running, but the engineers who actually built the system, they've done a lot of work to get this system running as it does. So I was kind of curious about what they have to do. Because I remember during the competition, the first, the NASA module, a paper was posted, but there were things that the engineers would have to tweak that we didn't really, we couldn't really touch because we didn't make the system.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's been shielded from you guys in this competition because there just isn't enough time, even with this extended period, to teach you everything. So we had to kind of concentrate on what we could. And so we didn't want you diving around and trying to optimize, real down inside the guts of the code, because that would have just led to tears. That would have been sad. And we would have had a lot of shipwrecks out there. So yeah, it's probably better off this way. But it seems to have taught everybody something.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And it's a lot better than,
I definitely learned a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot better than what we used to do, and what most competitions do is give you a couple of months notice, and then you've got 1 week to optimize 4 or 5 apps, boom, and turn in your final result. That would be rough.
Are they similar? Like those apps, are they similar? Like for the other competitions?
Yeah. These apps are similar to what you'd be looking at, but you'd have to do, all that mentoring and all the teaching that the labs have done. You'd be doing that on your own or working with a professor or something. And that makes it rougher, especially when you don't have any experience at all. So I think this is probably a better way to go.
I think the one question I had that came up from this is I still not really entirely sure what real high performance computing engineers really do. Is this what they really do? Or is this just a snippet of it? I was trying to think about the question, your question earlier. So I wasn't really would I want to do this in the future? I was I don't know I don't know everything about what they do, which is why I can't really answer that question.
Well, there's different things, of course. I mean, there are folks out there that are system engineers and system admins, and they provide user support and they make sure the hardware's up. They might do some performance tuning, but typically that's a different type of cat that does the performance tuning and stuff. They also might do acceptance testing, because in supercomputing, when a supercomputer is sold, customer doesn't pay for it right then. Customer waits until it's delivered and then tests it to make sure it hits the performance that the vendor promised. Then they pay for it, like a government entity would buy it like that. So there's folks out there that do performance testing and optimization, like what we've had you doing. But there are just all sorts of jobs within that, everything you can think of. Application specialists, storage specialists. Some people work with one set or one class of applications their entire career. And work with the scientists who use those applications. So there's a lot of different things to do. Then you can talk about working on the vendor side, where you could help with, maybe sales, maybe marketing, maybe system engineering, testing, all that kind of stuff. There's just a huge range of careers out there available in high performance computing. Pretty much everything you can think of.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
So next up, you got Amazon, AWS. And that's going to probably be something along the lines of computational fluid dynamics, which is a big deal, how fluids and gases react. So that promises to be lots of fun. And you'll be hearing about how to sign up and get accounts and all that kind of stuff. That's in the works right now.
Next week? Or the week after? So this is our break week, no?
Yeah, this is your break week. Yeah. So week after. or a week after this week. So you had a break this week. You're back at it again next week, right? Or am I screwed up?
There should be.
Yeah.
Unless there's another break. I wasn't trying to remember. I remember the schedule just being every other week, except
now
for
you're
one,
starting.
like,
You're starting 4-4. So Monday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I got to get hustling on that stuff and get it out to you. Good. Any other questions, comments, concerns?
I'm good.
I'm good.
You're good? Okay. Well, let's both go off and have an evening then.
All right. That sounds
And
good.
we will talk to you soon. Thanks for making the time, and we will catch up with Team Fullerton later on. Thank you.
Bye.
Night.
Yeah.